water, and mold restoration.
News time is 8 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast. Brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Last month, the DeWitt County Board surprised many by approving the sale of the Clinton Lake Marina to an outfit out of Sullivan. Many viewed the Department of Natural Resources as the favorite to be the next owner of the marina, but Board Chair Dan Matthews says DNR did not provide a very comprehensive proposal, and he felt there were better proposals from others in the process.
We looked at a few key factors, Seth, those being the financial ability to operate and develop a property, experience owning and operating a marina, their proposals themselves, the development plans, someone agreeing to honor the existing slip renter agreements for the rental period. So they've already signed contracts from March 1st of this year till next year. We wanted a commitment with the Clinton Lake Sailing Association, so the county has an agreement with them through the end of 2024. And it sounds like they're going to continue a relationship with them, which is great. Association out there that does a lot that maybe people aren't quite aware of, as far as some of the free events that they put on and some of the sailing regattas that they have. So they bring a lot of people to DeWitt County for sailing events. So they're an important part of the equation out there. And as I mentioned earlier, the commitment to the public access or the ramp and parking, as long as the lake is allowing for recreational boating, we need to make sure the public has full access through the marina. So when we looked at all of those things, the appraised value, the proposal, the buyer that we chose has more than 20 years of experience. They gave a great proposal as far as what they want to build out there, bringing in boat sales, experience with a restaurant, camping sites, all of those things that kind of hit on all of the considerations for awarding the RFP that we looked at. Not that others didn't hit a lot of them. You mentioned DNR. They didn't really provide a proposal of what they were going to do. They did just a bid price only, and that was below the appraised value. So DNR seemed like an easy choice, right? They're running the lake and everything, but they didn't propose how they would run it, what improvements they'd make, or anything like. Just to answer your DNR question, they just didn't meet the requirements that we were looking for.
Mm-hmm. According to Matthews, the board last month set conditions for the sale of the marina.
In the last meeting, the board passed a resolution setting conditions for sale of the marina. And those, the number one condition we had that we wanted to cover was to make sure that the marina property, specifically the ramp and the parking lots, remain open to the public as long as the lake is open for public recreation. And so the buyers were all quite aware of that, those who bid on the sale of the marina. And so we believe that their commitment and our resolution cover that, so that, it's the largest parking lot, it's the best ramp, it's out of the wind, has a number of advantages. And certainly that's one of the keys to our lake, is that access for the public to the marina ramp and parking. And so we accomplished that as one of the, resolutions of the sale. Another thing that we wanted to do was make sure that, it remains a marina, right? It's the best and only place on the marina to get gas. It's the only place on the lake to have slip rentals. IDNR covers the rest of the lake. Yes, there's some ramps that have access, for the public, but the marina is really a unique property for our lake. Most lakes are going to have, multiple marinas, or at least more than one, choices for people. So
among the conditions is the first right of refusal should the new owner sell the marina in the first 5 years. Some have questioned that condition because it leaves open the possibility that after 5 years, the owner could sell the property off and the marina could be shut down.
As part of that agreement that is in the purchase agreement with the buyer, is that if they would decide to sell that property within the 5 years, first 5 years, that the county would have the first right of refusal to purchase that property back. We wanted to make sure, And the buyer that we have has a long experience in running marinas, campgrounds, and that's the intention of buying it, right? But we wanted some protection in there, so that was the protection that we felt was adequate in order for, if something were to happen down the road, we can't predict everything that happens in today's world, we would have the opportunity to purchase that property back in that first 5-year period. The value of that property is running it as a marina, right? It's on the lake. It has, as I just mentioned, some of the uniqueness of the marina we have is there won't ever be another one on the lake. DNR is not, that's not what that lake is about. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. I just certainly can't believe in today's world where people are heavy into recreation, right? I mean, there's never been a time where, year after year, we've had every slip filled. Campgrounds are full. I know several local people who recently have traded their, campers for boats or have both now. So, outdoor recreation is as popular as ever. And if somebody has unique opportunity, especially on our lake, again, we know the Boondocks was closed, in this past year. So here's an opportunity for somebody to bring, a restaurant, food options to the marina and really just keep growing it. And that's why we moved ahead to sell the marina. As a county, we were restricted in what we could do out there, the things we could sell. And so, we're going to see this thing grow. We're going to see a lot more amenities for our slip renters that we currently have. Hopefully more slips will be built out there in addition to renovating the ones that are, that need some work now. So I think we're only going to see it grow into the future. We would be holding it back to keep it, so that we felt this was our best option.
According to Matthews, the sale is going to take some time, and there are still some things to iron out before it becomes official. He notes, in the meantime, there's going to still be activity at the marina as the upcoming boating season soon kicks into high gear.
So the sale is going to take some time, right? It's closing a property like this takes a little bit of time, and we've moved pretty quickly. But in the meantime, we're starting to have some nice weekends. This weekend's going to be cool, but next week looks warmer again, right? So people are saying, hey, how do I get gas? How do I maybe upgrade something? Or I want to buy my ramp fee pass for the year, things like that. So with the buyer, we've worked on a short-term lease agreement so that they could get out there, start doing some work, meeting the people, running the gas dock, manning the ramp, taking care of the garbage, the mowing, some things the county is doing right now as far as just general maintenance. So we wanted them the opportunity to get out there and start, getting a jump start on the season prior to the close of the sale. So what we were talking about last night was a short-term lease agreement that we've both sides have agreed upon. So that, and we're going to vote on that next Tuesday. So once that's done, then the potential buyer is going to be able to start doing some of the things out there that our slip renters are looking for, and our day boaters as well that need gas or need some services that we need to have somebody out there manning. That should happen next week, and then so the gas dock would be open on certain hours starting next week, and then we believe the sale will close sometime in the next few weeks. And then we would, turn over everything, and then you would start, then the buyer would have the opportunity to start doing some of the upgrades and maintenance on the building, the docks, the things like that need done.
For Matthews, having someone own the marina is going to mean that group will have more skin in the game, and he believes having the county out of the marina business will allow more timely improvements and quicker decision-making. He felt the way the government operates slowed down the progress of the marina. Tax day may be in the rearview mirror, but Social Security has some things for business leaders to keep an eye out for already for next year. Employer wage reports were due to Social Security at the end of January, and IRS regulations reduced the electronic filing threshold from 250 W-2s to 10 informational returns. Jack Myers with Social Security says more employers now need to take advantage of Social Security's business services online. Some organizations and companies handle the wage reporting themselves, while others hire accountants or other payroll services to handle it.
This is kind of geared a little bit more towards the employers out there. So, employer wage reports, even though we all have to file our tax returns by April 15, employers have to submit their wage reports to Social Security by the end of January. Now, IRS regulations recently reduced the filing threshold to, basically you used to be able to do paper W-2s if you had 250 or fewer employers. Well, the IRS regulations recently changed that from 250 to 10. So now a lot more employers are required to do electronic wage reports. And so a lot more people are needing to figure out how to do that, right? We've got something on our website. It's called Business Services Online. So if you go to ssa.gov/BSO, or just go to ssa.gov and look for Business Services Online, you can get yourself set up so that you can do those wage reports electronically. Now,
once that connection is made, you will then request services you would like to perform for your employer, or rather in BSO. Myers says some of the options include W-2, WC online, wage file upload, the AccuWage online, and Social Security number verification service.
Now, businesses do this all kinds of different ways, Seth. Some companies or organizations will handle the wage reporting themselves. Others are going to hire an accountant or a payroll service to do it. But if you work for a company, or if you're self-employed and you have employees, and you're going to need to be doing this in the future, whether you're going to be doing W-2s or W-2Cs, if you're going to need to verify employee SSNs so that you know your W-2s are correct, what you want to do is get started early. Go to our website now, ssa.gov/BSO. Get yourself set up with that account. The Business Service Online access is going to be unique to each employee, not the employer. So if somebody in your office who's been doing this forever is retiring this year, when they go, their Business Service Online access is going to go with them. So you're going to want to get set up yourself so that you can take that over. And it's better to do it now than to wait until the first part of next year when you're really under a time crunch to get this taken care of.
Additionally, Myers notes to use the Business Services Online, or BSO, as they now require authentication through your My Social Security account. You'll need to establish or link your My Social Security account to your BSO account.
Another thing that's changed in the not-so-distant past is now we require you to authenticate for Business Service Online with your personal My Social Security account. So you're going to have to either create a My Social Security account, or you're going to have to link your My Social Security account to your Business Services Online account. And so all of these things kind of take some time to work out, especially the business service side, because you're going to put in your request for the account, and then there's going to be an opportunity for you to say what you want to do with that account. And then we'll send something to your employer so that they can authorize that. So it's not something you have to start now, but I recommend it because, like I said, there seems to be a push always to get to the end of the year and people start thinking about the wage reporting. So doing it now is just going to be a lot easier, a lot less stressful for you. Having that all set up ahead of time is going to make your life easier next year when it comes time to do this. So again, check that out at ssa.gov/BSO. Get started on that now if reporting wages to Social Security is going to be part of your job function next year.
Myers encourages employers to look ahead to the next year and, again, get that BSO access squared away now before you need it in January. It can take some time to get everything set up, especially if you wait until the peak time. So, again, that website is ssa.gov/BSO. There are also helpful resources available via the customer support for wage reporting link on the BSO page. News time is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Monday. We've got much more coming your way on the WHOW Morning Show.
Spring is in the air, so it's time to choose your new Silverado. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. We have a good selection of new Silverados with springtime savings and special finance rates. Choose from regular cabs, double cabs, or crew cabs in gas or diesel. We are also allowing extra money for your trade on all new Silverados this month. See our springtime Silverado inventory at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. As a result of listening sessions held with the agritourism industry, the Illinois Farm Bureau and the Illinois Specialty Growers Association have developed 3 webinars with industry insiders to encourage farmers in a variety of topics. The agritourism mini-series will be held this spring, says IFB Associate Director of Food Systems Development, Ragella Scavuzzo.
Now, I know everybody probably thinks we're crazy. Why are we running any sessions while planting's starting? The reason they're mini sessions is we're going to get them in before things get too hectic. We know everybody's busy, but we also have had so many conversations around 3 really big topics this year in agritourism. One being how to navigate the health department, one being zoning and regulation and special use permits, and the third being liability and insurance. And the reason we're trying to get these 3 webinars in place is so that you can talk to the experts while you're trying to make sure you get your agritourism business up and running. Some of you will be already operating for the season, but many are prepping for the summer. And these will all be virtual. They'll run April 25th, May 2nd, and May 9th. Online at 1 p.m. each day, and they're absolutely free to anyone, and people will be able to register on our Farm Bureau website. We hope people come in online at the time so that they can actually ask specific questions pertaining to their issues. So the first one will be the health department in you, and we will have those that handle health department permitting, from things on your agritourism farm to your farmers market permitting to your cider presses. And so you'll actually directly be able to ask the questions to a county health department person and a state health department person to talk about the struggles people have faced. Same with zoning and insurance. And we're also going to talk about the agritourism liability tax credit. So each one will have a theme with an expert that we hope people will engage with.
More information is at ilfb.org under the Get Involved tab. Maybe you're not a people person, or the distance from home to the gym is more than you care to deal with. Maybe you should try a workout called Cozy Cardio. Recommended 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise per week. Spreads out over several days. Claire Spires is an exercise physiologist at OSF Healthcare and says Cozy Cardio is a way to make exercise comfortable in your home.
Some can do inclines, but you can put it under a desk if you're a remote worker. But just another way to kind of get those steps in during the day as opposed to having to leave your house to do it.
Walking pads and small weight sets can also jumpstart things. Well, if you're like me or many other homeowners and lawn care professionals, you may be using the wrong type of mulch and wrongly applying it. Gary Crawford has more.
I get people all the time calling me wanting assistance.
Isn't that nice? And Kansas State University Extension Lawn and Garden expert Dennis Patton happily helps, cheerfully answering questions from people, cheerfully even though he may have answered that same question 100 times. So during a recent interview, I asked what I thought was an innocent, harmless question. What kind of mulch is best to use?
Oh, boy.
Whoa, that question hit a nerve, didn't it? It's like, why did you ask that? But Dennis did answer the question in a way.
Well, to me, when it comes to mulching, the number one focus should be on the function of mulch. To keep the soil cooler, it's to conserve moisture, it's to control weeds, it's to kind of finish off the landscape. And when you get to whether wood chip versus dyed mulch versus this versus that, to me, you're really getting then into an aesthetics issue. They're all going to do the same thing if applied properly, but we get into what you like.
So what does Dennis Patton like?
Most people in the horticulture field really like the wood-based products mulch.
And here's why.
They tend to break down, release nutrients to the soil. They help improve our soils through the organic matter. They're usually a local, renewable resource, whereas your other types of mulches tend to be more what we call the inorganic mulches, the rock mulches, those type of things. And there's definitely places for rock mulches, but they don't always have all the benefits of a wood mulch. They don't necessarily cool the soil quite as much. They can be a little bit hotter when they absorb that heat. Depending on how they're placed, they could also become a hazard. A lawnmower, pick one of those up and fling it across.
Yeah, there is that problem. But Patton says, again, the main thing is to properly apply the mulch. He says you don't need more than a couple of inches of mulch in most cases. And one thing that really drives him nuts is seeing mulch piled up high around the trunks of trees.
That's called volcano mulching, when you pile this mulch up against the trunk of the trees. And that is wrong. What it does is put that moist layer right up next to the wood that leads to rot and decay of the tree, and then, of course, that shortens the life of the tree. So we want to keep that mulch back an inch or two away from the trunk of the tree, and really a mulch layer, 3-4 inches at the most, is really all we need to get the benefits of mulch when it comes to tree care.
So those are the views of Dennis Patton on mulch. Next question for you. Can I get away with only cutting my yard like once a year?
Oh, boy.
News time is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. News brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters.
Stop for a $95 billion foreign aid bill that cleared the House over the weekend. The bill includes tens of billions of dollars more for Ukraine.